Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Behind the Screen. In late February 2022, the United States informed that Russia is planning to invade Ukraine, citing Russia's growing military presence at the Russia-Ukraine border. In today's video, we're going to discuss how can the US government punish Russia by terminating it from the tech world, from penalties to sensitive memes. How to respond well to the growing crisis in Ukraine is being hotly discussed. A possible option is to compel Russia to access the important technology. If Russia again occupies Ukraine's territory, the US government could constrain it of a huge swath of low and high-tech US and foreign-made goods, from retail electronics and computers to semiconductors and aircraft parts. President Joe Biden will do this by compelling the companies that are attempting to ship an inflated list of goods to Russia to collect licenses from the United States, and his government will also then deny those licenses. The criteria, whose details have not been recently reported, are part of an original suit of export control punishments that the United States has organized to damage Russia's economy while targeting everything from lasers to telecoms equipment and maritime items. The White House and the Commerce Department, which governs U.S. export controls, did not quickly react to Reuters' requests for comment. Degrade Russia's industrial production. The package, which was still standing as fine-tuned over the weekend and could shift, comes even as some White House officials have promised to limit the Russian consumer from the brunt of the penalties. Peter Harrell, who sits on the White House's National Security Council, said in a speech that the main objective of the export control measure is to reduce Russia's ability to have industrial productions in a couple of key sectors. He also said, "We're sort of thinking about how do we degrade Russia's industrial productions and sort of high-tech sectors rather than how do we sort of target the Russian people writ large." The administration has been convincing to hit Moscow with a powerful cocktail of banking sanctions and export controls for weeks, in response to the hundreds of thousands of Russian armies growing along the Ukraine's border. On Tuesday, the Joe Biden administration declared an original package of sanctions against Russian oligarchs and banks. The UK and the EU confirmed their own sanction targeting economical, political, military, business, and media sectors. Their rollout comes after Russian President Vladimir Putin on Monday recognized two breakaway regions of Ukraine as independent and told Russia's defense ministry to deploy troops into the two regions to keep the peace and intensifying tensions with the West over Ukraine. Till now, the most broad measure contained in the original export controls package would take a page from restrictions placed on Chinese telecom giant Huawei Technologies Co. Limited by past President Donald Trump. U.S. leverage on semiconductors. It would dramatically improve the scope of the so-called foreign direct product rule, compelling firms that use U.S. tools to make technology overseas to collect a U.S. license before shipping them to Russia. Washington lawyer Kevin Wolf, a former official at the U.S. Department of Commerce, said it's extraordinarily novel and has the potentials for being far more significant than controls just on exports of these items from the United States. Most chips are prepared with American equipment, giving the U.S. leverage to control the flow of electronics to Russia. U.S. suppliers would also have to collect licenses for certain Russia-bound items that do not require them, such as civil aircraft parts. Whether Europe would follow suit to the same criteria remains to be determined, but authorities on both sides of the Atlantic have said they were educating a coordinated response. Under charges recommended in the package, the license applications in turn would face a strict policy of denial standard of review, meaning only in unique cases would the administrations authorize them. In addition, Russia corporations listed as so-called military end users for their apparent ties to the Russian military, comprising a handful of aircraft producers, would be expanded to a trade blacklist known as the Entity List. This would also expand the scope of items that the companies would require licenses to obtain. Finally, the government would enhance the scope of products that would need approval from the United States to go to Russia service end users. Alright, that's it for today's video. But before we confess our final goodbye, please note new videos are uploaded regularly on the wide variety of tech-related content. Comment on our video to let us know what you want to see next. If you like watching our content, please consider subscribing to our channel by clicking the subscribe button down below. Thank you for watching.